It's your boy Yesterday in the building. Got my co-host here with me.
Kelly.
This is Toy Talk Episode 1. Here at Toy Talk, we're going to be giving you everything from business, politics, music, fashion, culture, everything, just from a New York perspective and from the team. So without further ado, I'll let my co-host introduce herself.
I'm Belly. I'm from Jamaica, Queens. I'm a portrait artist. I also teach art to kids, and I'm interested in everything Black and Caribbean culture.
Okay. Like I said before, I'm Yesterday. I'm a recording artist. I also do everything in the book. I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm interested in everything Black and pop culture. Black culture, I should say.
Alright, so as you know, it's Women's History Month, and there's been a lot of great things happening for women in hip-hop. First off, Paper Magazine did an article on female rappers, featuring rappers such as Rico Nasty, Malibu Mitch, Young Miami, and a few others, and I think that's great that they did that, especially since, you know, some of those girls in there had beef with each other, but they put it aside for, you know, working together and doing a shoot together. I think that's dope, study your differences. Also, City Girls been blowing up lately. Act Up has officially made it into the top 10 on the billboards. Right, you see everybody online doing videos, rapping along, even men calling themselves city boys. That's dope. And Megan Thee Stallion, you know, she's been blown up too. Everyone's saying she's up next. Every time I go on Twitter, I always see another freestyle or another interview, so that's great for her. Congrats. And lastly, Tierra Whack. Since February, she's been releasing a song a week, which is crazy.
Crazy output. A lot of good things happening from women this month, especially in the hip hop space. So as far as women in hip hop, where you at? What you listening to these days? How you feeling? Who's catching your attention?
The main rappers, female rappers I like right now, I like Megan Thee Stallion, I like Rico Nasty, and there's No Name Count as a female rapper. I feel like she's just like an artist.
Okay, you can go
Technically, I'll throw her in there. I like No Name. I like her little alternative vibes bag.
Okay, I like that. You know, same thing. I like Megan Thee Stallion, Cash Doll, Cuban Dolls, a couple of dolls, a lot of dolls out there. I don't get anybody confused. So shout out to all the dolls.
We see.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to give some love to Tierra Whack, No Name, Megan Thee Stallion. I feel Dreezy too, who's another one. I like Dreezy a lot. What I like about this batch of female rappers, I think that like with all the people that we just named, and all like the younger women, I think that like it's a real camaraderie like with them, and like how they all like coming together and like they're supporting each other. They're doing each other's shows. They're going to each other's events. And I think it's a little bit differently than I think we're used to seeing with like the like older artists. You know what I'm saying? Like Remy, Kim, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was more
Cadmus.
With the cadence, but it's also like the power structure, the power dynamic.
Right.
So one of them is at the top for so long, then it's like, everybody's fighting just to be at the one spot, as opposed to just being like, we all here, let's like take it over together, something like that. So I really like how things are going right now, and I really like how women hip hop is shaping up, for sure.
Agreed. So my question for you, do you feel like female rappers get more scrutiny than male rappers, or do you feel like it's even?
Scrutiny, you mean like as far as like their work, or you mean like
like people nitpicking and judging them? I think it's the same standard for males as it is for females.
Nah, definitely not. Because I feel like with females, like it's like everything has to be like even better. Like everything has to be 2 and 3 times better than an average male. So like they always say, like it's a lot of guys that come out now and it's like dreads, colored dreads, the same type of music. But like if a female comes out and if she look like Nicki or Cardi or somebody, it's like, it's like, stop, like no, you can't, like don't do nothing like her, don't look like her, don't take no notes. So I think it is definitely harder for women because I feel like they're fighting against so many other things other than just like being hot or having good music and good songs and stuff.
I agree. I feel like some of the criticism that certain female rappers get, it can be applied to men, but they don't complain when it comes to men. Like you see people criticizing City Girls and Cardi for like having explicit lyrics or rapping about like using men for money or whatever, but when men do the equivalent, when they're rapping about tricking and fucking, like, nobody really cares. But then when it comes to them, like, well, I would never have my daughters listen to Cardi or City Girls. You rather listen to, like, a male rapper who's talking down to them versus a woman who's owning her own sexuality,
that's for sure. I definitely agree with that. And I feel like a lot of women I feel like it's good that this type of music is coming out because I feel like a lot of women are now getting to like have music specifically for them and by them. You know what I'm saying? So like going down to like we were talking about before, like with the producers and stuff. Like we have like more female artists, more female producers, more just females in the mix. So I feel like the messaging that women are saying, regardless if it's good, bad, and different, we agree, disagree, whatever. Like I feel like it's all coming like to the forefront and being recognized as such now too.
I feel like some other things like in hip hop, I feel like with colorism, I feel like colorism affects female rappers more than male rappers. I feel like it doesn't really affect male rappers or with females. Like I think it makes it harder. Like even Asian Doll, she spoke up on it before and said she feels like other dolls or just rappers in general who they blew up before her, she feels like it's because of their skin complexion. Like she feels like she hasn't been given certain opportunities because she's a darker rapper. And I feel like I see that a lot. When you have seen like a lot of female rappers who have blown up recently, they tend to be more racially ambiguous or very lighter skin versus darker women.
So you mean like as far as like the Cardis,
right?
Maybe even Megan to a certain extent. I mean, she's from Texas, but I mean, I get what you're saying about like just the color.
Yeah, it's usually like a certain skin color or like usually hypersexualized. Like even with that, I feel like a lot of lyrical rappers, like you don't hear people talking about Rhapsody as much, like other lyrical rappers.
Yeah, she's somebody I was gonna name too. Yeah, she's incredible, and I think the thing with her, I think because she's not selling anything other than just music and bars and just good, you know what I'm saying, just good penmanship and stuff like that. Like I said penmanship, but like good, good bars and good content. I feel like because she's just giving us that, I feel like she doesn't get the name recognition is not there for her.
Right.
So we'll say like this person or that person or whatever. But she's quietly, been successful, putting out quality music, quality bars. You know what I'm saying? She's rapping with the guys. You know what I'm saying? She's rapping better than some guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like anybody anything that you could say, well, she's not doing this, she's not doing that. She's doing all of it and more. So I definitely agree with you. I think that like because she's not over sexualized or she's not like everything's not like sex. I feel like people kind of like overlook her. I mean, even downplay to a certain extent too. Because she did stand up. I think her album was nominated for a Grammy. So like anybody else, it would have been like, oh, just how we supported Cardi, with the whole thing. So I feel like that kind of just went like,
right.
Oh shit, I don't even know, like. So yeah, no, for sure. Like
I feel like it's kind of like a catch-22. I feel like when it comes to content, people don't want women to be too explicit. Like they'll complain about women being too explicit. But then when you have rappers who are lyrical, they want them to look a certain way. So you want women to look sexual. You don't want them to be like, you want like someone who's a lyricist who looks good but doesn't rap about how they look or like, I don't know, I don't get it. I feel like it's weird because the girls who don't look a certain way don't get like the right recognition, but the girls who look a certain way, like people complain about what they're rapping about, but it matches their image.
That's really a good point. I never really thought of that. Say it again. You said like so.
Basically, I feel like people want content, like lyrical content from women. They'll complain about, oh, they're just rapping about their pussy, there's no substance or whatever. But then when there's rappers who do that, they don't get recognized because they don't look appealing.
That's a gem right there. That's
it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying before about like women fighting against stuff other than like music or like situations. I feel like it's stuff like that where it's like you can't win, you know what I'm saying? If you come out hard with the lyrics, it's like, yo, you're too hard. If you come out too extra, then it's like, oh, are you doing this and this?
There's always going to be some type of criticism, either way.
But like you said, for guys, like they can say, yo, I'm about to kill somebody, and you're like, yo, this is it. Like, yo, wedding dress, they're like, yo, this is it. Like, whatever, like anything happens, and you're like, yo, this is it. Like, but a girl's like, yo, come on, man, you ain't rhyming the right ball with that. Like, yo, not so.
Even with that G-Eazy song, No Limit, like everyone was like, oh, Cardi talking about some fucking, then I get some money. And it was mad about that. But on the same song, like the same exact song, G-Eazy was saying, fuck with me and get some money. They were not mad at him for that. They were mad at her for saying the same thing. Like, I did not hear no one like G-Eazy should not be trying to get women by using money. But everyone, oh, Cardi said, fuck him, then I get some money. That's wrong. It's like, he just said the same thing on the same song and nobody cares.
That's a fact. Yeah, but stuff like that happens all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's always the fine line of like what women can say and do and what men can say and do. It's always somehow different. It's always like, it's the same thing, but it's just different. Like, and like I said, it's not fair, but you know how it goes. Like,
Do you ever think it's gonna be like even? Because even though it's like a boom of female rappers now, it's clearly still substantially more male rappers, and the male rappers are like doing better than the female rappers. Do you ever think it's gonna be even? Like the female rappers gonna be right there with the male rappers, like same amount or like same type of success? Like you look on the billboards, and be same amount of female rappers as male rappers, stuff like that.
That's a really good point. I won't say probably not as many because I feel like the process is so vigorous, and like just like you said, like it's so much things that they're fighting. So like when one does get the success, it's gonna be hard to get the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, like the bars or whatever. So it's like you kind of gotta pick. Like yo, we want the success, or we want this, or we want that. Like I feel like women will get the respect that they're due as creators, if I can if that makes sense. Because I feel like you say now, it's like 1,000 and it's not 1,000, it's 1,000,000 rappers, 1,000,000 guy rappers. A lot of them doing the same thing. It's just a lot, but I feel like it's a little easier for women to break because I feel like it's easier and it's harder because I feel like you said, because of the certain things that they have that they can tap into that males won't have to tap into. So although it's harder, I feel like the ocean that they're fighting in is a little bit smaller than like the guy, you know what I'm saying, the guy pool. I feel like with guys, it's like, yo, we're gonna drop you in the pool, it's a million people here. If you could do something, then it's cool.
I feel like it's 1,000,000 girls trying to do it too. They're just less likely to get.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the pool is smaller. That's what I'm saying. Like it's obviously like it's not fair. Like I'm saying, like it's just a smaller pool. So I feel like once you do get dumped in the pool, I feel like the people that you're competing against, it's a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more compact because, like you say, it's less. You know what I'm saying? It's less of them even getting the opportunity to even be, I would say, dumped in the pool.
Right. I feel like it's definitely harder. I know you're saying it's easier, but harder.
Yeah, it's
like
both. Like
it's harder.
both.
Period. Like being a girl, looking nice is not easy.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too.
How many female rappers, like the main female rappers who are doing good right now? I don't think any of them haven't got work done. Or Young Miami didn't get work done. JT, you know, she got her breasts done. Nicki definitely got work done. Cardi definitely got work done. Megan was just blessed to naturally be thick, but I mean, a lot of them is like a certain image. I don't think it's fair that women have to have a certain image. Or I won't say have to, but more often, yeah, because right now the women who are popular right now, realistically, they have a certain image, like a hypersexualized image. And I feel like that makes it harder for women, especially for dark-skinned women, because people like racially ambiguous women. That's what a lot of people like fantasize about, like foreign women. So I feel like that makes it harder. Even if you do already look away, like you're gonna compare yourself to other people to make it very, like you can see, like you tell Cardi's very insecure. When your looks are on the forefront like that, it's automatically going to make you insecure. So I feel like all around it's just harder, especially since we do have to look a certain type of way.
Yeah, no, and for sure it's harder because, like I said, it's both. Like it's harder because just even like you say, even just to get in the conversation, it's just so much harder. Like it's like I said, like on the rise, like you gotta have your hair, you gotta have your team, you gotta have your publicist, you gotta have your nails, you gotta have your makeup. Guys will, I mean, they do a show with short sweaters and jeans.
There's a lot of
if the music is fired up, they gonna wear the same jeans till they get on. They're like, yo, I got all of this right here. So I feel like just like stuff like that, it's harder for women to do stuff because it's like it's just so much more stuff that's not music related that they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Traveling, you know what I'm saying, and crew, all that other stuff. So it's a little more difficult, like you said, in that instance. And I actually think it's good though because I feel like, well, like we were talking about earlier, I think there's a lot more spaces in the culture opening up for women, especially women of color. And I feel like there's always been spaces, but I feel like now, in all like content avenues and all aspects, there's like people being put in places and initiatives being started. Like I was talking before about the initiative that the Recording Academy has started. You know, they were saying that the president has said, what did he say again? He was like, women need to step it up, that's why they don't win as much, or something foolish like that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's just ignorance, but I feel like what they did after was basically try to say, listen, okay, we're gonna start an initiative where we're gonna try to get the major labels and major artists on board with, you know, when they're working on major projects, we at least have 2 female producers or engineers in the mix. And I think that's really dope, because I feel like people don't really understand that the producer and the engineer in the music world are are like the most important people in the music. Like, so rap, whatever you listen to, the producer and engineer is like, you should thank him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should always thank those people. And I feel like they spend.
See, you said you should thank him.
Yeah, see? That's it. See, that's it. Because I'm so conditioned because
Right.
I do music and I've always done music and always had a guy engineer. I've always been to other people's studios and had a guy engineer. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you're just conditioned to say, yo, listen, I always see this one thing, so, you know, this is what it is. But that's what I said, I'm happy that like, just having women like in those spaces, I think is a really good thing. And it would be dope. I never met a female engineer, but I would like to work with a female engineer or a female producer. Like, I think that would be like really dope. Like, so,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
what do you think? What do you think about what do you think about just that whole thing in general? Just about like women having other spaces, not just being an artist, but like other spaces in the culture. Like, what do you think about that?
I feel it's definitely needed, and I feel like it's slowly happening. Like even with like women commentators, like you know, with radio shows and talk shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Before, I feel like when it comes to hip hop, it's like okay, Angela, Laura Styles is like the main ones, you know. Now you see more popping up, like you see Scotty Beam doing her thing, Remy Ma is like two very strong, dark-skinned black women speaking on the culture who they're not submissive. I feel like usually like the few women who were a part of that, like commentating, they're always like passive, or they're just one of three people. It's like them and two men, and they talk the least, and they're more passive. Even if like they don't bring certain things the men say, you tell they're kind of like reluctant and more like reserved. But with like Scotty Beam and Remy on State of the Culture, it's like first off it's an even amount of men and women, which I haven't seen before. When it comes to like hip hop shows, it's usually like more men involved. So shout out to that. And also like they don't back down. They're not submissive, either one of them. They're very different, which is even better because they're very different, but they're both equally like very strong and like grounded in their beliefs, and they're not gonna change their mind for anyone.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure.
I like both of them for that.
For sure. Shout out Scotty Beam, shout out Remy. Yeah, I really like what they're bringing to the table with what they're doing, and just women like that. I feel like, but like we were talking about earlier, like I watched the show, and I feel like when Scotty Beam says certain things, that's when she's sticking up for the culture, or she's sticking up for women, or she's just advocating for a particular group or whatever, people attack her. People are always going, and I feel like that's something that I feel like women of color have gone through for so long.
Yeah, like the angry black woman thing.
Yeah, like
you're too emotional.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, the same thing like you say, like, oh, when a guy does something, or like when a guy is emotional, he's fired about something, it's like, yo, he's passionate. You can see the fire coming out of him.
On the very same show, Joe Biden be yelling all the time. Like he got no face. Like that yachty thing, like took off. But no one's like, oh, Joe is being a tad bit too emotional. Niggas either always yelling or always crying.
For sure. Like,
he's very emotional, so why isn't he getting that same criticism as Scotty?
But you see, I think that's like you said, like people look at it 2 different ways. Like even me, like when I look at Joe, I look at it as comedy, but I also see it like, yo, like some of it is BS, but he's passionate about something.
Yeah, they see it as passion with the men, but like with the
women, it's like
you're being illogical, you're being emotional.
Yeah, but I think
being sensitive.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really like what they bring to the table, and I really like that there are other women too. Like Nadeska Complex. There's a couple other women there
I
too.
feel like she's more passive too, though.
Yeah, there's a couple other women. I can't think of their names right now, but just like I don't know. I just like that they're.
Oh, and shout out to Scotty Beam. Don't she have another one like Black Girl Podcast? It's like her, like.
Yeah. What's the name of it? I'm not sure.
Is it called Black Girl? There's something like that. I think it's literally called Black Girl Podcast. Something Black Girl.
Probably is, yeah. I gotta tap in. But yeah, shout out to her.
And Angela Yee has lip service. So you see women trying to like, get into their feminine bag and like talk about things specific to women.
Yeah.
Within the culture.
I feel like that's what it's all about. I feel like for so long as men, we've always had stuff that we consume, like by men, for men, you know what I'm saying? Like men creating music for men, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like now that with the changes that's going on, I feel like a lot of women are being able to get their content and be able to get the things that they like to do, you know what I'm saying, by women, for women. So I just think that's dope.
Yeah, and it is a relief as a woman because certain things, like even though certain things a lot of men talk about, like women, we can relate to it, but it's nice to see women like talk about experiences like specific to us. It's like I appreciate that because Y'all niggas just don't be knowing.
No, that's for sure. Niggas don't be knowing. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, like, when I was in school, like, I did a lot of classes, I took a lot of classes with females and stuff, so I would just notice that, like, a lot of information, guys just don't have. They just don't have the information. Like, you know, like, I feel like information like that is, like, passed down, like, through your family. So, like, if you're never, like, taught, like, to not, like, disrespect a woman, and you just see disrespect, it's not like, it's like, well, you know, this guy did it or whatever.
They don't
like,
think of it as disrespect.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even disrespect. It's like, yo, it's crazy, like, just to hear certain things. It's like, some people, it's not even, like, they don't even know that what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
So I feel like, one thing at a time, but I feel like things are coming along. I think that, like, in due time, I think women are gonna be, like, it's gonna be, like, top engineer, I think women are gonna be at the top of everything. It's like, you know, some people are not gonna like it, but I'm for it.
Future is women.
Who's your favorite female artist?
Female artists, like rap or
Rap,
just in general?
R&B, like R&B rap.
I think very hard. I personally, all the shit I be talking, I definitely listen more like metal artists. Exposed.
This is what I'm saying.
Exposed.
Because like I said, you like, yo, it's not enough. I don't have the variety out here that
I
I'm
was
looking
mad, like men. Just mad men in my phone.
Let me hear this playlist.
I mean, I like No Name right now. I like her a lot. I like No Name.
So now I'm taking No Name is getting vocal to stage.
Would I say she's my favorite? I don't know if I'll say she's my favorite.
Sound like it right now. Sound like it. You like, yo, listen, man. It's No Name.
It's just like a vibe. I be in different vibes right now. I'm definitely into like alternative, like positive energy.
Okay.
Well, artists in general, I'll say Solange. I've been bumping when I get home like every day. The visuals just brought it to life.
I like her a lot. What about rappers?
Rappers.
I think, other than Megan, like.
So which one I'll say like is my favorite female rapper right now? Period.
Megan.
I like her energy. I like her shit.
See. I'm telling you, like, I feel like when people get hot, I feel like there be like a campaign going around where it's like, yo, listen, it's like, yo, she hot, like, yo, you know what? Let me just get on the bandwagon right now, like. So like, nah, shout out to her though, like. So yeah, but we was talking about basically like
You not gonna say your favorites?
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to know. Megan, obviously. I like Cash Doll a lot. I really like Cash Doll. Yeah, like I said, I like her. I like Nicki. I know that's not the most popular opinion. I like Nicki. I think that everything that she's done for the game, I think that although people are not appreciating it, I think that it's like it's hard to deny. It's hard to like, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to look past it.
I don't think anyone was denying it though.
Nah, people try to deny it. They try to get out of here. Come on.
And I think she kind of was trying to get stuff out of here. But yeah, Nicki. Is she girl?
No, I rock with her. She had a few missteps, you know what I'm saying, music wise, you know what I'm saying, like.
Personality wise. What a baby Stormy do? How do you beef with a baby? Like,
yo, listen, I'm telling you, I really like Travis Scott. That was one time I was like,
I
was like, damn, come on, you have to do that, like.
She brought Harriet Tubman.
To Freedom, no, that was it. To Freedom, no, that's it.
That's the bomb before the Freedom that made it so perfect. Carrying slaves. Turn it up. I really appreciate everything she's done for the culture, and I think that I feel like this, like you said, like, I guess her attitude, it doesn't make it the easiest to root for her. I guess it makes it easier to root against her. I.e. like. Even so, there be some male rappers that is just as arrogant, and they don't get as. Like,
I mean, you know, it's a really good point. I think she had said on one of her Queen radios that she was like, when Soulja Boy did his whole spiel, whatever, like everybody was like, yo, word, like, yo, we gotta give Soulja some credit, like. Right. But like when she did it, like I think like a couple months previously, like on a radio show, it was like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying, she just like, you know what I'm saying, she like, like we always say like let people compliment you, but you're not supposed to compliment yourself. So it was like people felt like she was doing a
I
lot
don't
of
think
that.
that's the issue. I feel like you can like say your accolades. It's just like you saying it, but at the same time you're like discrediting another female rapper. So I feel like a lot of people's thing with it is like having to talk down about Cardi to like lift yourself up.
Yeah,
If
I think
she was
they
just
both,
like,
they both
yeah,
did
give me
that.
my credit, I'm like, okay, cool. But it's like you tearing someone else down to do it's like,
Yeah, no,
I'm not feeling that.
I feel like between them, I feel like that's so much like big money shit and label shit. I feel like they both do like the same, you know, like same thing. Like when Cardi didn't have a lot of accolades, Nicki was always like, yo, numbers, accolades. Yo, I got this, I got this, I got this. Now Cardi is like, yo, I got the numbers, I got the
accolades. She has a completely different
accolades.
narrative. Like with
So it's
Remy,
like,
she
oh.
was like, oh yeah, your pen game nice, but what about the charts and what about the plaques? And now Cardi got plaques, and she's like, oh well, let's sit down and write. Let's see who can write better. Like you can't just flip the narrative. Like
Yo, I'm
be
so
consistent.
dead. No, that's
like let's sit down in a room. And let's write.
No,
you
that's-
was trying to write with Remy Martin. Like,
No,
come
that's a
on.
fact. No, that's a fact. Like I said, shit, the energy always changes. Shit different. Nah, but that's a fact. That's real. That's a real funny thing. Like, but so yeah, we were talking about earlier as far as like the progression and stuff. As far as like I would say like solutions, or as far as like what could be done to get women like on a faster track, or I would say support from other black men and other black male
That's a
dominated
good point.
entities. Like I think the support from them, I think it would bolster that. And I think that it is happening as we speak. Like you know what I'm saying in film, you know what I'm saying, whether it's Tyler Perry Studios or you know what I'm saying, or it's these people. I feel like black women are getting more and more opportunities. But I just feel like there needs to be more black men that needs to be on the boat of like, yo, listen,
Champion.
yeah, like I'm starting this or I'm doing this, and I need to have black women in here. You know what I'm saying? I need to have at least whatever amount of black women. And I feel like that's being done more now than ever, as opposed to like, you know, if we get them, we get them.
Right.
And if we don't, then oh well.
One thing I noticed about like with rap especially, I feel like when it comes to male rappers, like it doesn't matter your sexual orientation, it doesn't matter your gender, like everyone listens to male rappers, like gay men listen to male rappers, women listen. But I feel like when it comes to women rappers, a lot of the men, it's like mostly just gay men or women listening. Like a lot of men do not want to listen to female rap. So I feel like definitely that, and I think it's a dumb point, oh, we can't relate because we're not women. We're not men, and for years you guys have degraded us in these songs, and we still listen to it. So I feel like it's weird for guys to be like, oh, I can't relate because I'm not a woman, but we're expected to relate to the male rappers. It shouldn't be like you can't listen to women and appreciate it, you know?
You know, I totally understand. Like I feel like, and I feel like certain men aren't like. I feel like they're not listening to music for the same thing. Cause like, just like we talk about Megan, like I love Megan, like she looks good and stuff, but like I think her bars and the way she raps is really dope. But I feel like some men don't like. Just like I feel like with the male rappers, they don't care about like the way they rapping. They care about the chains he got on, or the clothes he got on, or the cars or whatever. So I feel like it's the same thing with women. It's like even if you were like we said before earlier, like. Even if you're really good, like even if your pen game is really good, it's gonna be like, okay, well, like I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something else. I want you to look like this, or I want you to have this type of messaging, like as opposed to just being like.
Yeah, but there could be women who have that and they still don't like it. There's like guys who like mumble rap, but then they don't listen to Bounty Baby and like Cardi is kind of mumble rap, but they don't listen to like the female equivalent, or guys who like. Oh, male rappers who are flashy, like there's female rappers who are flashy and got chains and all that. I feel like it's more so like they don't want to relate to women because
but that's what I'm saying.
Misogyny thing, like
yeah, cause I feel like when it's like a
naturally.
woman is saying something, it's like when a woman is saying, I feel like music wise to you, you're like, I don't know. I feel like you think too much about it as opposed to just like you said, if a guy say you don't think about it at all. It's just like, oh. But if a female saying, you like. How do I feel about this? Do I like the flow? It's like I don't know. It's like
nitpicking.
Yeah, it's like guys
looking for a reason to not.
Yeah, that's why I just I don't know. Like I think it's good that I do music because I can just appreciate like any type of music, no matter what you do, what your preferences or whatever. Like if it's high, fucking with it. If it's fire, if you can rap, if you produce, whatever, I'm fucking with it if it's hot. Like, if it's not hot, then she's not hot. Like, I feel like that's another thing too. I feel like there are a lot of men who don't, like you said, that don't give it a shot, or that aren't even like going to be receptive to the music. But then there's also a lot of lukewarm music out there from everybody though, not just women, but there's lukewarm music from everybody.
Hey, there's some of these female rappers that I could do without.
It's a lot of lukewarm out there, but I don't want to just put that on women.
Yeah, because it's on both sides.
Yeah, but I feel like, but just like you said earlier, the lukewarm stuff for guys.
People still gonna
bump that, but if it's lukewarm for a woman, it's like, oh nah, like yo, it's like yo, don't even play this on my earwaves, like.
Right.
So I totally understand, and I totally get you about that. What do you think, like as far as like
solutions? I feel like what you said makes sense. I feel like men in a position like should put women in a position. That's why like shout out to Diddy and Joe because they made sure to have like Remy and Scotty, and even in people coming for Scotty, even though Joe and Scotty get into it a lot, he always defends her and says, you know, I hired her for a reason. I want her to be that voice for a black woman, this specific type of black woman. So I feel like men like in these industries should definitely like create that space for women, create those opportunities, not just for racially ambiguous women or Spanish women, all women, create the space for them. And also people need to keep talking. I feel when you talk about it enough, like people go, oh, what is, like online, right? Like, oh, what is that gonna do? There's a lot of things that happen from online, like,
you mean like online?
Yeah, like 5 years ago, if you were to talk to like the average white person about police brutality, it like doesn't exist. There's still white people who are ignorant and think that, but a lot more of them have opened their eyes from us starting like initiatives online and being more vocal. So I feel like if we're more vocal about wanting to see women in these spaces, people are gonna want to accommodate. So I feel like definitely keep pointing out the lack of representation, and women keep putting out that we're at like it's the what age of technology. You have YouTube, you have IG, you have Spotify, whatever. Like put it out there and see what it does. There's so much stuff at your fingertips that if a woman feels like I feel like I can do this, and the opportunity isn't there, create it for yourself. Because like at this point, there's so many resources that you can create for yourself and put it out there, and don't be shy to do it. Like even women on YouTube now who have great followings, who like they commentate on things or whatever. Like there's a few of them like Paris Milan, Aloho, a few of them I watch, even Lovely T, she does like the gossip thing. So definitely even if like in those spaces it's not being created for you, definitely put yourself out there, and you never know. Even some of these people on IG who put themselves out there on IG, they end up like at award shows and stuff, like becoming like actual celebrities and getting opportunities outside of that. So I'll say definitely men in a position, help women, like put them on, and also women just put yourself out there and be consistent and don't give up, and keep bringing up the fact that y'all want to see more representation, and it's bound to happen. Just be relentless. Don't talk about something for a week and then go on to the next thing. If you really feel like it's important to see more women in hip hop, we have to be consistent about telling people that it needs to happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with that. I feel like, just like I said, I feel like the most important thing you said was be consistent. I feel like, and that's for both people. I feel like the people that's gonna help the women and the women that's actually doing it. I feel like the people that's helping the women, I feel like we need to be more consistent and always helping and always supporting and always giving things a chance, because sometimes it's not always about saying like, yo, you gotta buy this or you have to do this specific thing. Sometimes it's about giving it a chance. Just saying like, yo, listen, just check it out. Tell somebody about it. Put somebody on, or you know what I'm saying, or just say, hey, listen, I know you guys like, you might like this type of music, so I'm gonna put you onto this. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different ways.
Like even with Act Up, like being in the top 10 on the Billboard, that was from like social media, like people just played it over and over, and it became a thing that everyone wanted to record. And then when the boys got on, like, oh, we city boys, and then now like it's going up in the charts. So then if you fuck with something, like put it out there and see who else vibe with it. Like just keep putting it out there, and we'll get to that point.
That's for sure.
Not that far off.
So all the women creators, like, don't stop, be consistent. Like, trust me, there are people and there are things out here, and that's things that's not even created yet, that's being created as we speak. People are trying to help. There are people that are supporting you. There are people that are getting behind you guys, and there are people that are trying to fight for more space for you guys to do more things, because we know, I feel like we know as a culture how much black women and how much women of color contribute to the culture behind the scenes and off scenes and, you know, on the back end. But I feel like it's, you know what I'm saying, now and especially going forward in the future, it's the time for us to really, really have all hands on deck with actually helping women of color attain some of this power, attain some of this content creation, attain some of these things that, we've dominated for so long. You have anything else to say about that?
No, I think that about covers it.
Okay, so I want to thank you guys for watching. This is Toy Talk episode 1. I really appreciate you guys for sitting with us and having us chop it up. So thank you for coming out, and catch you on the next episode.
Well, thank you guys. Make sure to follow Toy Records on Instagram. Ding!
Yo, it's yesterday. You can follow me up here or up here.
You can follow me right ding here.